Okay, so today is the third installment of this guitar, and um, I, I, I'm so pleased with the way this is coming out. I can't even find the words, but anyway, um, so in this third installment, you're going to see me completing the guitar itself, and I kind of messed with the background a little bit, but I think it's an improvement. So let's take a look. So in part three, my goal is to get the guitar completely filled in. And I'm using my Deli paper as tracing paper to really help me get that curve and to plan out certain pieces around that edge. And also where I have to fill in like a puzzle. Because I don't want to have really tiny pieces, so I want to kind of just cut pieces that fit right in the spot that they need to be in. So this is probably the tiniest piece that I cut, but a very important piece because it does define, that edge. If we don't have that curved edge, we don't have a guitar. It's not going to read. So I'm being very, very careful to make sure that I'm cutting papers to that exact curve. And using the tracing paper is probably the easiest way to do this. So you might also notice that I am trying not to have the same paper next to each other. So I'm trying to scatter it and have it be, cohesive, but at the same time I want it to be able to flow. And I don't want your eye to stop because two papers are right next to each other and they're the same. So you have to keep the eye moving. And I basically am now settled on just these papers that I have here on. There is one more paper I do introduce a little bit later, but it's in the same color family and it works. But I love this purple and red paper. This is one of my favorites. So this particular piece actually has this tiny little bit on the end that needed to curve. So that was tricky to cut. So it is moving pretty fast, as you could see, where there's not that many papers that need to be done. And I abandoned that idea of leaving some of the neutral background. I, I end up filling the whole thing. That turned out to not be such a great idea. This yellow paper that I made with the comb is one of my favorites. I think without this particular paper, this would not have been as interesting, especially where I used it in that circle area. So I'm surprised at how steady my hand is today. Some days it's a little shaky. Today it's pretty stable, and I find now maybe it's because I've been using an X-Acto knife since I was a teenager, but I'm really strong with an X-Acto knife. Like I can draw those curves super easy, better than the pencil because it doesn't slip. And you just have to be really careful when you use them. If you're not used to a sharp blade like that, you might want to use scissors. I've been, like I said, I feel like I was born with an X-Acto blade in my hand. So a lot of the curved, there's a couple pieces left, but most of the curved are done. But we still have like what I call puzzle pieces. They have to be an exact shape. So I still have to use the tracing paper, and I have to make sure that I cut that exact shape or it's going to look weird. So you can see I'm also using different shades of red. Most of them are also quinacridone red, but the warmer color ones were probably mixed on the plate with Indian yellow, and it warmed it up. Now this paper I love. This is one of the papers that I made with a color shaper, and it has a little bit of black, quinacridone red, Indian yellow. Really fantastic mark making with the color shaper. And so I use a couple of these pieces, I think. I even like the lacing that was happening. So all these different textures are adding to the end result. If these were plain color, plain papers, hand painted papers maybe would have been okay. I don't know, but with the Deli plate, you can make these fabulous papers that really add so much more to your collage, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. I mean, this learning how to use a gel plate has really changed the whole way I, produce my art now. So, has it changed you in any way? So I'm really curious because it has made a deep impact on me and my work. So I would love to hear some of your stories. Anyway, I'm really getting down to the end here with the pieces. I figured since I had some of the fine comb stuff that maybe I should add the other side of the paper that had the thicker comb marks. I love the way that looks. Okay, so I still have a few more pieces. And then we could get to the guitar strings. So since I love this wider comb so much, I decided to introduce it a little bit more. And with that piece, we're going to finish the curve. Now we still have some additional little fill-in pieces, but it's very satisfying to see the curve of the guitar completely filled in. So I always find at the very end and these final pieces are the hardest. Even when I do the big paintings when the pieces are much smaller, but these final pieces really have to be exact. And I don't know what I'm going to do like going around that circle yet, but we'll see. So obviously when trying to fit into these really tight spaces, it's very important to cut templates like this. It's impossible to do it without that. but it makes it super easy. I'm being a little lazy and I'm not taping it down, but I'm really holding the paper underneath and the one on top kind of tightly. And sometimes I also have to like shift my hands around because the paper starts to move. You know, it is better to definitely tape, especially if you're a beginner at this. It's the easiest way. So I'm really getting down to the wire here. It's, and I'm very, very happy. But, you know, I initially said that I was going to leave some neutral spaces open. But the more I worked on it, the more I realized it just wasn't going to work. So I filled up all the spaces. So if I had used more opaque papers, I probably would have gotten a very different result. And I think it might have looked flatter. I don't know. I could try that again someday if I ever find a rice paper that I like. Uh, but the kind of papers that I'm now using these days are medical exam paper. I'm using wet strength tissue a little bit, but not much. I don't have a lot of it. I think it's much more expensive, and it's not any better than the Deli paper that I use or the medical exam paper. So I don't see why I should. I'll probably never buy it again once I run out. But that's my opinion. You might love wet strength tissue. It's just not my thing. So I'm thinking I haven't used this paper enough, so I'm going to cut one more. I like how it introduces the white a little bit. Well, it's not really white, and it's probably going to go transparent. But and also there's some lacing in there, so that adds some additional texture, different kind of texture. And now we're seeing where it was white, it is now transparent, and we're seeing the background. So that's very, very good. So now I'm starting to already think about what I can do with this background. And I had made these white papers. I recently posted that video. Some of them are so subtle, like that one that I just glued down. So subtle you can barely see it. So with some of them, the white is a little bit more obvious, like that one I just put down, and the other one was like it disappeared into the background. You could see it's very subtle. So I'm thinking this is going to work. So I'm going to keep going with this. And luckily, I had made quite a few of these papers. I think I might need to make some more in order to finish this project, but we'll see how many I get in today's video. I think it just enhances and the background and ties it into what's going on in the guitar as well with the triangles. And this is something I have never done before and will probably do again because I really like the results. I don't even know how the idea came to me. It was during a gel printing session. I was just wondering if this would work. And I just really love the effect, so I will probably use it a little bit more on some other pieces. And I intentionally did some lacing on this. If I'll put the video where I work on these papers up in the corner so that you can go see that if you haven't seen it yet. I actually used some baby oil on the plate to encourage the lacing. I wanted to get not only transparency but texture. Okay, so all guitars have strings, don't they? So the dark part, the black part where the circle is, and the neck of the guitar need to have white. It needs to be painted white, and the lower part to the left will have to be black. And that the fact that it's black and white. I mean, strings are not black and white, but it all depends on how the color beneath it or the way the light is shining on a guitar, what it would look like. So the strings would look white against the dark area, and they would look black or dark on a light area. So that's my thinking. So I'm just kind of taping it off. I didn't try to get a sharp line. If it bleeds a little, I'm even happy with that. And I'm also smudging it a little. I want it to be sort of uneven, brighter in some areas, lighter in other areas, letting the black show through a little bit on the other areas. It almost looks like the light is glinting on that string right there. So this is my thought process anyway. Whether or not it's successful is not, you decide whether you think it's successful. But this is how I've done it. On this one, it did bleed a little bit, but I wasn't going to concern myself with it. It bled underneath the tape a little. And it just, to me, looks like the light is really just brighter in that area. I tried to clean it up slightly. And I think this is what really finishes it off. And this was the last part that I needed to do. I am going to frame this. I did not paint the sides of the canvas. So I'm going to get a floater frame for it. And I think it's really going to set it off nicely. So I'm sorry to say I didn't get the part where I finished the strings. I don't know what happened, but as you can see, I used, I think, black gesso to do the strings over the lighter yellow area. And I finished up all the other white ones. And I like how it's very uneven. And I just had that little bit of white that I put in the green and black striped area. I don't know what they call that, but where the strings connect. So I haven't signed it yet, haven't even decided where I'm going to sign it. But it's definitely going to get framed very soon, and it will be hanging vertically. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to create, inspire, and share. And let me know if you want to see more series like this with multiple part works of art where we go from papers to final collage. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.